This review will give them a shock to their system. Oh yeah? I'm gonna beat the likes into them. What's going on YouTube, and welcome back to the channel where I review amazing figures, and today I have for you the Retro Shocker and Hammerhead. And before we get started, we're going to take a quick look at the box for each one. First, we're going to review one figure, then the other. So hang there tight with me until the end, so that way you can get the best experience out of this video. Okay, guys, as you know, these are retro. Especially Shocker in the 90s. That was the suit that he would have, and they brought him back, but now with some differences, and we're gonna go over those differences. And I will be comparing him to the old one. I don't have the figure, but I still remember how he was. And Hammerhead, I never had a Hammerhead figure before. Back in the day, they never had one until a few years later on. So I'm very excited to open these up and see how they look outside the box and see what has changed. Let's take a quick look at Hammerhead's box. These are the other figures that go with this wave, and here's a little story. You guys can go ahead and pause the video and read that. Take your time, it's pretty long. When I was a kid, I had the Armor Spider-Man and the Symbiote Spider-Man, as well as Hobgoblin and Shocker. This Spider-Man was not around yet, so in a toy at least, he wasn't around yet, so there was no figure for him, as well as Hammerhead. So seeing these coming back, it brings a lot of memories back to when I was a kid. So especially the packaging is the same. This is how it was back in 1994, when this line was released, and the figures came out. And in those days, the Lizard was my first and only figure at the time. And over the years, I was able to build my collection back up. So that's Hammerhead. And now Shocker. Like I said, this is the same suit that he had back then. And a few stuff have changed, and we'll go over that in a minute. Here's his story. You guys can go ahead and pause that. And same scenario. All it is they took out Shocker and put Hammerhead, and cool illustration in the back as well as in the front. So, but enough of that. Let's go ahead and open these up and see how they look like outside the box. Okay, guys, this is Hammerhead outside of his box, and I gotta say, I'm trying to find or nitpick things that are wrong with this figure, because, you know, then again, it would not be much of a review, right? But man, this figure, it's very well done. It's very well done, in my opinion, from head to toe. He's fresh out of the box. I haven't tested out no limbs, no nothing. So as of right now, he's top A, grade A figure as of right now. So that can change depending, according to how, the review goes. So let's see. But with that being said, he comes with 2 exchangeable hands. One is like somewhat open. We can take excess plastic off that they didn't cut. There we go. He comes with 2 exchangeable hands. I'm assuming one's for the bat, and the other one him laying the bat on his hand, or maybe he could put a gun there. Don't know. We're gonna find out though. That's for sure. We'll swap these out here in a little bit. Put those there, and then he comes with a bat. Melee weapon, since he's a mafia guy. I have Negan from The Walking Dead, and he comes with a bat. It looks kind of similar. I may swap and give him Lucille, and Nick can have this one. Negan can have this one. We'll see how that plays out, because I don't know. It looks just like Lucille from The Walking Dead, except without the barbed wire. So we'll experiment with that later on and see where that takes us. So, and yes, I am using a DC plate so he could stand on. So, anywho, let's take a quick look at, oh no, let's take a closer look at his head sculpt. And I gotta say, it has a lot of detail, a lot of wrinkles in the face. Trying to get that into the camera with his flat top. I guess that's why they call him Hammerhead, because his head is steel and shaped like a hammerhead, head of a hammer. So that's very interesting. I love the pimp suit. I mean, maybe in the future I have Matt Murdock's head. I may take this one out and put it on there, see how that looks like. Just experimenting. But I gotta say, I love the pimp suit. You know, everything about this guy, this figure screams out mafia. It just does. You know, this one comes with the brass knuckles. You know, now noted, this hand does not. So that's pretty cool. You know, closed fist has the brass knuckles, open hand does not. So I like how they did that. That was nice. So as far as color variation, nothing is smudge, at least on this figure. Nothing is smudge. Everything is well painted. Everything well done. You know. What do you guys think? Put in the comments if you have a Hammerhead figure. Like I said, I didn't get one or seen one until later on over the years. This is my first one. If you have a previous one, put it in the comments or send me a message and show me your figure. I want to see which one that you got. And if you're having fun with this video, go ahead and hit that like button. And don't forget to subscribe to help out the algorithm of YouTube and help out the channel there for me. So let's go ahead and talk about articulation, because this guy's insane. So let's start with the top. The head obviously does full rotation. He could go look up, look down. So that's good for posing. The arms goes about this high. Can't go any higher due to the shoulder, but it goes up this high. It has upper bicep rotation, double bend at the elbow. You know, you guys know I'm big on that. Rotation at the wrist. And hand movement as well. Come on. It's moving, but since everything's stiff, fresh out of the box, I'm going to have to heat them up a little bit to pop some joints. Yeah, see. There we go. Little bit of hip rotation. There's no movement in the upper rib cage, because this is hard plastic. It's not hard plastic. I mean, soft plastic is hard plastic, so doesn't give it any room to move. So don't try to move that. I don't want you to snap anything. And this arm goes about this high. That's about it. As far as kicking goes, that'll be about as high as he can go, because the suit won't let him go any further. Come on. Oh, man, this thing is tough. There we go. So double bend at the knee. And if he's new, fresh out of the box, I suggest heating him up, because these joints are extremely stiff. See, look. There we go. Come on. There we go. There we go. Nothing broke. Nothing broke. So that's good. The foot. There you go. They both bend. And I get it right? I'll heat him up. I'll heat him up. Take my word for it, his foot rotates, but I'll heat him up so that way you guys can see. Let's go ahead and put him back in the stand real quick. There we go. Let's swap out some hands. Let's go ahead and see how he looks. There we go. There we go. Swap this out. Yeah, I really suggest you guys heat him up. Or any figures that you have that are stiff. Heat them up, especially the joints. Put them in hot water. Let it run. And just dip it in hot water. If you have a bowl of hot water, dip the whole character in. Not boiling water, please. You just screw up the paint. I speak from experience. But, yeah, hot water usually just helps to loosen up the joints. And then when you pop and moving them around, it should be fine. So let's go ahead and put the bat in his hand like so. There we go. Come on. Does he get to hold it? No, I think he's just laying on it. Like lay it on his hand. Yeah, like that. Yeah, I think that's how it's supposed to look. You can always make it up. It really doesn't matter if you have another hand that's more open, since he doesn't have the brass knuckle. It really doesn't matter. I experiment with the hands and swapping out the heads and stuff like that, so it's fine. You can always try that. If you have another hand that's open and it looks better, swap it out, put it in. It's no big deal. I'm thinking of putting Matt Murdock in this outfit or in this body, see how he looks as far as character goes in with this figure. So, what do you guys think? Let me go ahead and focus it in. Okay, guys, here we have Shocker outside of his box. And yes, he does look way better than the one that I had back in the 90s. One small detail, but we'll go over that here in a second. Looking at what he comes with, he has these two little blast thingies. They're pretty common for the legends whenever they have some type of power to display them. This is what they have. You just hook onto the arms and stuff like that through the little hooks that I have here. I'll display that here in a little bit so you guys can see how he looks like with it. Then he also comes with two interchangeable hands. Take a closer look at that. The hands have a lot of detail. I love the details in the hands, like the bend and the curvature inside the hands. They're not just, they don't look like gloves. They actually look like hands. So that's a very nice touch for the character. We're gonna be doing those in a little bit. See how he looks like with his extra hands, and see which one you guys prefer. And you also base plate, and all these base plates do not come with the figures. They say DC, so that lets you know. Anyway, taking a closer look at Shocker. He's very well done too. My critique with him is the paint. And not the paint job, but the actual paint overall. Because the Shocker, these lines supposed to be painted black, making it look like a grill. The 90s version, or the one that I had when the first time the show aired, they were painted, So I may go do that myself or just leave it as is, because that looks very challenging to do. So if I get bored enough, I'll probably just do it. Who cares? And just do paint those lines in. But other than that, guys, this character, I highly recommend him also. I haven't popped any joints. I haven't seen any wiggle on the joints, but he's fresh out of the box too, so that may change as the review goes on. So we'll see. Let's talk about the paint job. As paint goes, he's well painted. Nothing is overlapping. Nothing is smudge. At least for this character. I mean, this figure. Sorry. He's not smudge, so that's good. No scratches or banged up, so I can appreciate that. Because especially if you're a collector, you want your figures to look good. So that's that. Articulation goes. Let's start popping some joints here because he's fresh out of the box, so he's gonna be stiff like that. So I heat him up too. I'm maybe from now on, all I'm gonna do is just start heating him up after the review, so you guys can see that they're actually tough to move around. But there's always a solution, so don't worry. That's as far as the elbow goes. I mean, his arm goes, his height. So any higher than that, please don't do. His head, full rotation of the head. Has rotation. The hands also rotate. Well, the wrist rotates, if you want to get technical. Also bend here. Then at the hip. From what I can tell, the belt is glued onto the figure. So it's not like other Legends where you can adjust it back and forth. No, it's part of the figure, you see? So it's actually glued onto the figure. I don't know if you can see that in camera. Yeah, there you go. So don't try to adjust the belt, because if not, you're gonna break it. So, and come on. Okay. There you go. And they bend at the knee. It's like I said, it's stiff. I gotta loosen him up. Let's see. Let's give it one more try. One more try. Come on. Yeah, no. I'm not gonna force it. Rotation on the shin. Oh, this looks kind of loose. What do you guys think? There you go. If you have this shocker or any other one that you believe is better, put it in the comments. Let me know. Like I said, I only had one when I was a kid. I know there's tons out there, but I only had one. And it was this version, but the 90s one. And the 90s version, he will have his arms like this. All right? Like that. Like that. So he couldn't grip anything. He couldn't do nothing. And then you put his arms down, and then he'll have this shooter that will go through inside of his arms. And then you will put it through his fist. But the problem with that was, if you're going to display him, you have to display him like this. Because his arms did not rotate. So then when you put the shooter inside his hand, it will have a hole in the back, and you will pull on it, and it will shoot out because it has springs. And, for being a 90s toy, I get that. That's all they had. But thank God we have these. So, much better. The shooter, yeah, it is different from, the little plasma blast that it had in the 90s. But I choose this one better. Looking back at it, I like this one better. That's just me. And the arms were like hard plastic. But, you know, if you play rough enough, you probably could break them, you know. So, I don't know. I like this one better. I like the fact that his elbows can bend. You know, you can swap out the hands, you know, stuff like that. So, speaking of hands, let's go ahead and swap him out. See how he looks like. Oh, that was pretty easy. Okay. Oh, wait. Come on. There we go. It wasn't in all the way. Let's go ahead and swap out the other one. There we go. That one was a little bit tougher. Come on. There we go. Okay. Cool. What do you guys think? Open hand or closed hands? Which one do you guys prefer? I like both. I like both because, see, now he can put his hands on his hip. You know. Like so. You know. Super villain. You know. Put his hand on his head, like if he's scratching it. You know. What's going on? Where am I? Where's Hammerhead? What? Yeah, I'm screwing around. So, but have fun with it. It's up to you. Which one do you prefer? Put in the comment. Oh, hit the camera. Put in the comments. Let me know which one do you prefer. The open hand or the closed hand. Or one open, one closed. You know, whichever. It's totally up to you. Do it as you like. Let's go ahead and put him back in his, well, not his stands, but the little black stand. There you go. Make him look like he's scratching his head, like he's lost. Let's go ahead and focus him in. Okay, guys, that's it for this review. I know it was kind of long, but we had a lot of ground to cover, and I hope you had fun in this video. And thank you for sticking around with me this long. And once again, if you found value in this video, go ahead and hit that like button. And if you're new to the channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and bell notifications so you don't miss out on any more videos just like this. And until next time, guys.